Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. So, according to our Vice President, our borders are secure, guys. If that was actually true, we know it's not. But if it was actually true, you wouldn't be seeing a headline news where you have your Florida and Texas governors placing these people on buses and on planes and sending them up to the elitists and things like that. Now, what I find kind of interesting about that is when you see a headline like this, and then the response that they give looks like this. Really, you activated the National Guard after telling the entire world that you're supposed to just let them in and embrace them into. You're going to activate the National Guard because, well, it's one thing to send them down into our area where they can, one, screw up our voting base, two, come in and just drain our systems. But when they're up there putting the drain on your thing, then it's time to activate the National Guard. Okay, yeah, that's the way it is. But yeah, old Kamala Harris was not happy about it. And all I had to, really, she's not happy, and that makes me thrilled. It really does. But, you just got to give them a special kind of an applause when they start complaining because the policies that they push bite them in the butt. So as we're coming forward, we need to be aware of the food shortages that are still continuing to get worse. If you go to store, you're going to notice that the availability of stuff, the brands are going down and stuff. The price is continuing to rise even now. We're not seeing, I say, as many empty shelves, but what they're doing is they're actually reducing the shelf length and the width so it doesn't hold as many items, and it actually makes it look like the store's kind of getting full again, but that's not what's happening. It's all an optical illusion is basically what they're pulling, and people are just not seeing it. But when you go in and you have an almost can of food, and then you come in and you see this new can size that they're coming out and it's quite a bit smaller and they're charging even more for it, kind of makes you a little irritated. At least it does me. But there's not much you can do with it. But like I say, folks, get food now. I would highly recommend getting some kind of sustainability program. Like we've talked about in the past, growing your own gardens and stuff. Even if it's indoor in planters, you can do that. You're not going to get real big high yield crops, but you're going to have food. So that's going to be a good option. Maybe you're sitting back saying, okay, well, I've got enough food to last me for about a year. But what happens when this stuff gets real bad? Well, what I would be doing is if you've got a year's supply of food, yeah, you continue stockpiling back. But if you don't have good soil in your area and you're planning to grow indoors, then what you really need to do is you need to focus on getting planters, and you need to be focusing on getting some kind of a soil. They come in big bags, or you can get it by the truckload, and getting that stuff processed. And understand, if you're using outdoor soil that's not been processed or whatever, you're going to have a lot of little eggs and stuff in there. And whenever you start planting your crops in your house, you're going to end up with bug infestation. So the best way to deal with that is to actually boil that soil right now. Take it in small amounts to start boiling it, they say. If you actually put it in your compost bins, the nitrogen should get hot enough to kill a lot of that. But that's not been my experience with it. I've not really seen where the nitrogen heat has actually really done much to eliminate bugs. But you're going to want to make sure that you have some kind of a system set in, even if it's just little fly strips or something, because it's them little gnat flies that end up coming out of that soil typically. But you just gonna have to figure that out for yourselves, guys. When it comes to our chickens here, so we have 3 eggs that should be hatching. You may be wondering, well, why only 3 eggs? Well, I understand that a hatch rate can be anywhere between 50 and 75% with chicken eggs. This is more or less just kind of testing to see what this breeding is going to do. If it comes to a situation where I need to get a lot of chicks pretty quick, then yeah, I can fill up some incubators real fast, which I probably will do. But right now it's hurricane season. I don't want to risk getting a bunch of these eggs set and then we losing power, which we could hook it to our generators, which we do a lot of times. But you have to think about the ambient temperatures, the waters coming in, the rain, the humidity. There's a lot of variables. It is just really not great chick rearing season right now. But 3, I can get those and basically rear them up for a few weeks in the RV inside the shower area that's set up as a brooder. We used to do quail in there, so we can do chickens in there. It'll be pretty easy. And once they get up in size, then we can move them out because it's still kind of warm enough, but But you really got to watch this time of year, because heavy rains, that can cause problems for smaller birds still. Even your larger birds, you want to make sure that you have a good area for them to perch up and get up out of the water, because believe it or not, chickens are not ducks. They don't really like to swim. So, but I hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to hop off here.